Hey folks, welcome to my channel Number Pen. So there we have the problem on our screen. Differentiate the following. X divided by square root of 7 minus 3x. So a function of the type p by q, where my p is x and my q has a square root, and inside the square root we have a linear function 7 minus 3x, right? So, in order to avoid complexity, I will make a substitution that eliminates the square root in our subsequent steps, right? So, what is that substitution that I'll have to make to eliminate the square root? We have done similar videos in the past, and I request you to take a look at some of my earlier videos where I have attempted to solve problems of such complexity. So the substitution that we'll be making out here is 7 minus 3x equals u square, right? When I do this substitution, I know that my numerator has x, right? So it is better to represent x as well in terms of u before we go ahead and make the substitution in the above expression, right? So what is my x in terms of u? 7 minus u square divided by 3, right? So let's write that. And then now I go back to my y and let us figure out what is y in terms of u. I have my x, which I write it like this. And then I have my square root of 7 minus 3x in the denominator. So go back to the substitution what I've done in step 1, which is my u square equals 7 minus 3x, right? So what is my u? My square root of 7 minus 3x becomes u, right? So there I have y in terms of u, which is 7 minus u square divided by 3u, right? So I'm going to rewrite this as follows. Y equals 3 is common to the denominator, so let's pull that out. So we have 1 by 3, and then I have my first part. I'm going to write it like this. Let me open my brackets. 7 by u minus u square by u becomes u, right? So this is what I have for y in terms of u, right? So with this, I'm going to calculate my dy by dx. What is my, I'm sorry, dy by du. My dy by du is 1 by 3 is a constant. And then I have an application of the sum rule where I have 7 by u. What is d by du of 1 by u? It is minus 1 by u square, right? So my first part becomes minus 7 by u square, right? And why is that? Because I'm again applying the formula d by dx of x to the power n equals n times x to the power n minus 1. So what is n in the case of 1 by u? My 1 by u can be written as u to the power minus 1, right? So my n becomes equals minus 1, and therefore when I do d by dx of u to the power minus 1, I have minus 1 times u to the power n minus 1, which is nothing but minus 1 minus 1. So it becomes minus 1 times u to the power minus 2, which is nothing but minus 1 by u square, right? And then I have my u, which is a 1, right? Because d by du of u is 1. So this is what I have. I can pull out my negative sign now. So we have our dy by du. Let's highlight it using our yellow color. But then I've been asked to find dy by dx. So I go back and figure out what is my du by dx, and then I come back and then apply the chain rule, right? So what do we do with this expression u square equals 7 minus 3x? I do a differentiation on either side. When I do a differentiation on either side, I get d by dx of u square is 2u du by dx. And then I have 7 minus 3x, again an application of sum rule. 7 becomes 0 and minus 3x becomes minus 3. So I have 0 minus 3, which is minus 3, right? So my du by dx is nothing but minus 3 divided by 2u, right? So let us write that before we jump to dy by dx. My du by dx is minus 3 divided by 2u, right? And so this is my du by dx. I'm going to put this out in green, right? And then I have my dy by du, right? In terms of u, my du by dx is also in terms of u. So I will go ahead and calculate my dy by dx and then eliminate u and represent the final answer in terms of x, right? So what is my dy by dx? My dy by dx is nothing but dy by du into du by dx. So my dy by du is something that I already worked out. So let us highlight that in yellow. I'm going to pick that up from the yellow expression which we worked out in the previous step, which is my minus 1 by 3 times 1 plus 7 by u square. And then into my du by dx is nothing but minus 3 by 2u, right? So I have a 3 in the numerator, a 3 in the denominator. So I can cancel out my 3. I can also cancel out my negative sign, right? So these two negative signs cancel out, and this 3 and this 3 cancel out. And then I have a 1 divided by 2u. I have a 1 divided by 2u into 1 plus 7 by u square. So let's copy it as it is, right? So this is what I have. And now I will have to clear out my u and represent the final answer in terms of x, right? Because we've been asked to find dy by dx. So what is my u? My u is nothing but square root of 7 minus 3x. So I go down and then I have a 1 plus 7 by u square, which is 1 plus 7 divided by my u square is 7 minus 3x. So I write it as it is, right? And then I have one more step before I get my final answer. I move the 7 minus 3x, which is there in the denominator, to cross multiply it with 1, and then I get a 14 minus 3x divided by 7 minus 3x, right? So this is what I have. I go to the next step because I know that I'm more or less arrived at the final answer. My dy by dx, my numerator I write it as it is, which is my 14 minus 3x. And then my denominator is, I have a square root of 7 minus 3x. I have a 7 minus 3x. So I know that I can write it as, I open my bracket, 7 minus 3x, the whole power 3 by 2. So there we have the final answer. I'm going to highlight this in pink. So my dy by dx is equal to 14 minus 3x divided by 2 into 7 minus 3x the whole power 3 by 2, right? So that's my final answer. I hope you found this content useful. Please do subscribe to my channel and support. Thank you.